Hey everybody, my name is Kimberly B, as you can see below, and I thank you for tuning in today. Today I'll be giving you guys a tutorial on how I did my hair. Don't mind the Happy New Year band. I made a makeup look after that. If you haven't seen my makeup look, I'll link it in the description below, but y'all didn't come for that. So let me get back to the point. So anyways, I'm just doing a sew-in using a lace closure, and I'm just showing you guys how I do a seamless bomb laid lace closure that is, it just looks like it's melted a little bit, if I do say so myself. So yeah, let's get into it. So I started off by separating the hair into 3 sections, the back being the biggest section, the other 2 being their own, and then I simply braided my hair straight down the back. From there, I proceeded on simply braiding my hair to the left and to the right. And once I was finished with my braids, I went in with the Africa's Best Super Grow Scalp Conditioner. I've been using this stuff since 2015 and I love it. If anything did help, it might have been that to help my hair grow. And then I also have the Do Grow Anti-Itch Oil, and it's supposed to basically relieve any head dryness. And it's just important that you want to make sure that you keep that moisturized. Dang, I got these clips going through quick as heck. I can't even catch up. Well, basically, anyways, now that we're through that, this is my foundation, and you just braided it down. Braided down our base, and I'm just spinning around so y'all can see. So I went ahead and I combined the braids at the back, and then from there I placed the braid ends within the windows of the scalp so that I had the flattest look possible. Right here I have my closure. It is already bleached, already plucked, all of that. This is some hair that I'm reusing that I had previously purchased. I went ahead and I gave it a wash, all that good stuff, and as well too, my knots already bleached, as well as the edge of the hair is already cut. Whenever you are cutting, you just want to make sure that you cut it jaggedly. It doesn't have to be a perfect line, but it can be fairly perfect. And then as well too, one thing that you can see here is that typically this like beige colored line would go up to the top, but what I did was I cut off those corner pieces. And that is in the instance of whether or not you want to use like a ghost bond or got to be glue at your elastic band here. So I'm going to go ahead and attach the edges of my elastic bands right here, and then I'm going to leave that little edge piece off. This is it. I am using the thick band. You can use the small band, but I literally got this at Hobby Lobby. I probably paid like $2, and as well too, Hobby Lobby, they always have like 50% off coupons and whatnot, so take advantage of those as well. So first, what you want to do is basically go ahead and measure. So you want to lay your closure on your head as flat as possible, and then you're going to go ahead and take both ends of the elastic band, and you're just trying to see where they meet, but you also want to make sure that you pull just a little bit of tension in order to get the elastic band at the correct length so that it's fairly snug. You don't want it too snug though, because you will get a headache if you're not careful. So be gentle and mindful of that when deciding how long you want your elastic band to be. And I turned the camera down a little bit just so I could show you guys exactly what I'm talking about. So for this side, I went ahead and I already sewed that end down. So this is our example, but when it comes to, y'all have to excuse my knuckle, but yeah, when it comes to sewing your elastic band down as well too, what I do is I start by creating a knot on my string, as you can see right here. And I literally pull that through, and then basically I do a dolphin stitch, or I go over and under and over and under. If you ever do get any hair tangled up in your threads, you can literally take the needle itself and pull those hairs loose as well. so they're not like trapped in there. And then I'll just go ahead and make a knot, and I loop it around my thread twice, my needle thread twice, and then I could just go ahead and pull that through. So now you can literally put on your closure like it's like a hat or a headband. And I'm just gonna brush it a little bit too. The whole objective right now is to just bunch that hair up because you don't want it to be in the way while we are trying to sew down the sides of the closures first, 1 and 2, and then for 3 it'll be this back perimeter area of the closure. And as well too, you want to make sure that even before you kind of figure out like, okay, where I kind of want to place it at, you want to make sure that you're lining up your parted area. If you don't have a part already, you want to go ahead and define that now. And then as well too, like define how forward facing or back you would like your closure to be. I'm just going to take a little butterfly clip and clip that hair. You want to do close stitching on the sides. Also another tip too, like when making your placement for your closure, like sewing it down, you could go gappy to start, and then basically once you sew the second side down, come back through and do more stitching around the side of the closure in order to hold it in place. That's on you. Alright y'all, so my closure is sewn down at this point. Feel in there, and I can feel my braid right there. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and make a little part using my red tail comb. Area parted, we know where our braid is up underneath there, and thread. So what I'm doing is I'm going right where the braid is, and I'm going to loop that through. Y'all like my nails, by the way? I did them. But yeah, so here we go. I'm going to go through a few times and do that around that braid. And this is just to basically give us extra protection and holding our closure in place so that as we style it and brush it on the daily, it's not shifting all over the place, and we don't have a receding hairline closure that's just trying to go back to the back of our neck. So I did about 3 stitches in between there, and I think I want to do like 1 more in order to finish my little anchor threads. I don't double knot an anchor thread because you don't want it to be like a bulging knot within the middle of your closure when you're just trying to brush through it, you know. So just 1 is sufficient. So I started off by doing 2 layers of got2b glue on the edge area, and then from there I just applied a little bit of extra got2b glue where I saw that it was necessary. So then now I'm just gonna go ahead and lay that down. And as you can see, I already had cut a few baby hairs out on this closure before. Yeah, you just want to glue it down without the hair being in the way to start, and then you can go back in and do your baby hairs afterward. And I kind of like this method a little bit because sometimes it makes it look like a frontal a little bit without the whole work of actual frontal itself. And so there you have it. Our closure is tacked down as best as I can do it. I have like one little problematic side, which is this side, but I think it'll be fine once it dries a little bit. And I'm just gonna go right on top of that, right where our line is. So I'm just letting her simmer before we keep moving. Because other than that, you can always come back to doing your baby hairs and stuff. I am back, and currently I only have 1 bundle web put on my head. I'll go ahead and continue on, and because this one is a little bit higher than this one, I'm just gonna go ahead and start it over here. One thing about the elastic band, because it's so big, it does kind of cover up like my braids area. So in order to basically make up for this area being kind of covered, later on what we can do is take 2 individual tracks and literally like sew them right up underneath there. So I'm just gonna keep on curving this around until we hit the top. We just have this small area left of the dome in order to finish filling it. I have this, once again, we're going in double wefted. I do the flip over method so that I avoid having to cut it extra. And for my threads, usually I go 2 arm lengths wide because I'm folding it in half anyways. Make sure that you're doing it as flat as possible too. Sometimes as well, even though it's double wefted, what I'll do is I'll go ahead and leave it kind of like this so that they lap a certain way when I continue to braid on it. It seems like it makes it just like a little bit flatter sometimes.
So at this point, all that's left to do is to give us some styling. I have my Gorilla Matte Gel and the LA Girl Pro Concealer in Pure Beige. I feel that it matches the scalp tone pretty decently. So I applied that to the front of the parting area and the closure itself to define my part. And then from there, I'm just using my Gorilla Matte and my little Kiss hairbrush in order to do my baby hairs as well. I went ahead and took tweezers, and that's just to help the baby hairs area to look a little bit less dense. So this is what I came up with. I feel like they look alright, if I do say so. So that is how I did it. Other than that, I went ahead and I applied that extra track up underneath the elastic band on both of the sides in order to give us more thickness in the front. And other than that, all that's left to do is to give us a straighten. You also could go ahead and use a heat protectant on your hair so that you protect your bundles from any heat damage. Other than that, all that's left to do is just to give yourself some straightening and you are basically done. So I thank you all so much for watching my video. Like, comment, subscribe, and leave me some suggestions below. Other than that, I guess I'll see you guys next time, and thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.